Can you talk about how you think the police can be held more accountable, or you know, can they even be held more accountable given the
I think that the badge cameras is a good idea, as long as they can't turn them off. You know what I'm saying? You know, what's the use in having a badge camera if he could turn it off and then go beat a suspect? So that's my that's one of the feelings I have about it. Also, good police, the good police that are out here need to make sure that they have a responsibility to police themselves. Get the bad officers off your force. If you don't step out here and tell us that you fair and you for fairness and equality, and I run a good police department and we don't have this, we don't discriminate and we do all this training. We do all this, but then you turn right around and know you have racists on your department, like some of the what was on display here. You know, you can't tell me that a police officer who comes out here and points an AR-15 at reporters, women, and children and peaceful protesters doesn't have a problem. You can't tell me that a police officer that is on Twitter or his, you know, or social media blasting the protesters is not a problem. You can't tell me that an officer that is calling us animals and come on, I'll kill you and do all of this and that is not a bad officer. If you don't want to get him off your force, give him a desk job. They don't need to be out here dealing with us. A police officer is a privilege. It's not a right. If I could talk to all of the police chiefs around the world, around the country, you know, in our country, being a police officer is a right, it's a privilege, just like being able to drive a car is a privilege. If you, and you're not always right. There's no way that a police officer can be always right. Just like there's no way I'm gonna be always right. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're not robots. You know what I mean? So if you got a bad officer on your force and you stand next to him and you watch him beat a suspect and you do nothing about it, you don't report him, you know, because you're worried about him having your back in the streets or whatever, then we have no way as a public. You know, they don't take us seriously when we report the problems. They just think, oh, he got pulled over and now he's just trying to get the officer fired or whatever. You know, sometimes, you know, the public is not always crying wolf. And you know that you got racist officers in your ranks. You know they ain't right. And you still side with them.
You're watching BLACKTREE on TV, only on Soul of the South.